speaking of that school thing that you and Val are working with, I just had another thought to add what I talked about before. Instead of going to the local politicians and trying to get their support, the new thought that hit me was it might be a good thing to go to, since elections are coming up, to go to the people that are on the ballot that are not in, that are trying to get elected into these different positions, and talk to them, and they can use our plan here. All the information we have about what happened at the school over there, tell them what happened, tell them what the situation is, and they can use that information as their platform to get elected by the local community. So that's another avenue that you guys might want to try out there.
I'm sure Val is listening. Yes, that's good. Val has to write it up. That's his part. So that's a good idea. Yeah, and Val, when they were up in Cupertino, he went and talked to the mayor up there, and we tried to get a concert going. In other words, the mayor at the time talked about environment, but realistically she wasn't interested. But yes, that's an avenue, an adventure you can try. So yeah, Val and Kelsey will have fun with that.
You have any comments, Marge?
No, because I'm still going through some of this stuff yet. I had a dream. It was a short one.
Okay, well, go ahead. Sure.
And it was upstairs in a house where I have a lot of dreams from when I was a young girl. And I went to work right after high school, and I was like a governess. I took care of these people's children. We had 4 children, and the little girl at that time I think she was about 3. But then we grew up together kind of, and we became friends and stuff. Well, I had the whole top 3rd floor of their house. I had my own bathroom and everything. And I was like one of the family. When they went on vacation, I went on vacation with them. They gave out presents, I got presents, It was like my family, like my family away from my family. They were Jewish, but you didn't know they were Jewish. But I did go to their church once in a while when there was a wedding or something like that. Well, anyway, I've had so many dreams up in that room. And anyway, I was sitting at my dresser. I don't know what I was doing, but I was in front of the mirror. And my girlfriend, which I don't really do anything with because she likes to go out to the bars and to the fairs and check out the guys and stuff like that. And I don't care to do that. I don't even like those people. I mean, they're just not my type of people. When I was young, that was okay, maybe. But I never drank anything. But anyway, so I had this big bed. And at that time, my guy friend was kind of laying across the bed. And Joanee was there. And I was looking into the mirror and I said, Joanee, who are you here with? And she was laying beside my boyfriend. And he was laying across the pillows on the top. And she was laying next to him. And she said, well, I'm here with my husband. And her husband was laying the other way. And then I woke up. What do you think that meant?
Well, it's interesting. In the beginning, young lady, you have 4 children you're taking care of? No, those were your 4 bodies.
Oh.
Those are your 4 other bodies you're taking care of. You're Nana, okay? The real you. So, and the next part is self-evident, okay? So, the old saying is when you make your bed, when you lie in your bed or how you've made it or whatever, there's an old saying that goes along with that. So look who's laying in the bed there. So you can figure that out, right? You were in the corporation too?
I'm in the top 100 executives in the United States. I had a letter that was sent to me that said that. And they were going to put a
I think he meant in Eckankar.
Yeah, Eckankar.
Oh, in Eckankar. Are you talking about Eckankar?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, what was the question again?
You were in the corporation too, like Bob and Sandy?
Oh, yes. Yeah.
I call it the corporation. Well, again.
Yeah. I've been in there like 40 some years.
Well, again, you're an old timer and you got a lot of tap lines with her, and so again,
That's what I thought it was. I mean, I've been really going through a lot of crap now.
Oh, yeah.
Like
Well,
I've never done before.
it's going to show up now because again, everything becomes self-evidence. Before, everything was asleep. Now, little by little, you're waking things up, and now you're going to start to see it, and you decide how you're going to confront it or what you're going to do with it, or you're just going to let it stay as it's always been. You're the decider. So all the boys can do is show you what's going on. You know, it's like with anything. If a person's drinking beer and eating pizza every day, they're going to show you where that leads to. They're probably going to show you a coffin, etc. But you decide if you're going to change the idea of things. So you're just being shown what's going on.
Oh, okay.
What a great dream. That's a great dream.
I'm like,
Thank you. Yeah.
I'm thinking Joanie's after me.
Well, she probably is. That's the point.
Oh, I've been my
She's
outside cat.
not after you, Marjorie. She's sleeping in your bed.
Yeah. Anyway, I've been having problems like my outside cats. They're trained like house cats and everything, and they just love me in that. Well, I've lost one just in the last couple of days, and then I've been nursing one for like 3 weeks already. It's going to pet. It got really good and everything, but it nurses. It's a girl, and it nurses on itself. And I think it got locked in the neighbor's shed or something. And I think she did that to herself, and she took all the calcium out of her body, you know. And so I nursed her back, and she's blind now. And so I've got her in a box, and I think she's going to pass away in the next day or so. I mean, all these crappy things going on in my life. Life used to run a lot smoother.
I think there's a parallel. I think there's a parallel with that female cat, and you making the bed for for Joanee. I think there's a parallel there. You see the connection?
Well, she even said, when she says, Marge, why don't you retire? She says, it's so much fun. I'm like, she goes and she jogs in the mall with these people in the morning, and I don't like that kind of life. I'm a busy.
Well, maybe you're so busy doing that
I think she wants me to run around with her. Maybe, I don't know. I haven't done anything with her in years. We just worked in the same.
Well, are you talking about Joanee in your dream, or?
Yeah, Joanee in my dream.
You used to run around with her?
Yeah, we used to go out together.
Oh, you know what you mean in person?
Yeah, in person.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
And that's why I was surprised. Like, what's she doing next to my boyfriend? I mean, she in the physical life, she never did anything like that.
Except the Harry.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Yeah, I can see there's a few dots there you need to connect, Marge.
I won't be doing anything with her. I'm more into myself, kind of. I like to read and, stuff like that. I got my flowers.
Well, how about concentrating more on the all lives?
That's a thing. Yeah.
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 Yeah, that might be more important than some of these other things, although in a way they're one and the same. But your focus needs to be on the all is, and the flowers will take care of themselves. The all is will show itself through your flowers. So you got to focus on the right direction.
What about the weeds that keep popping up? Pull them out.
Yeah, pull them out.
I've been doing that. I have weeds in my garden, a haystack. Okay. That says something about my life. There's weeds in my life.
Well, there's a parable that tares are signs that not all is well in your garden.
Exactly. That's a definite.
Well, I don't think we have anything else, Duane. I thank you so much for today.
This was great. Thank you.
Thank you.
One little comment, if you don't mind,
Sure.
about the garden and the weeds.
Yes.
Those weeds, Those can be little things in our history, in our past, in our present that are keeping us back from moving forward to a greater awareness. And all you got to do is start looking at the things that you're involved with, or the things that you may have an opportunity to do that seem to be a little bit on the scary side. And I keep bringing this up because I'll tell you what, there's a door there that when you finally decide to walk through it, there's a huge area on the other side of enlightenment. But you're not going to see it until you walk through that thing you're afraid to deal with. So that's about all I got on that subject for now.
Okay, thank you.
Well, thank you, kids, for stepping up, because again, as each person has the courage to step up and share. Again, we're not into people's personal lives or whatever, but something that makes sense and share. So, just like you were saying there, Bob, about margarine or weeds or whatever. See, this is the fun part. We're not into criticizing or people are doing things right or wrong. That's not the idea. But as you share, others become the objective viewpoint. Just like when you're watching a movie, you see the characters and you're even sitting there sometimes reacting, thinking that, oh, why doesn't she go left instead of right? That's dangerous. So you're the objective view for others. And this is over the years through the Skypes and the classes and everything that I've taught and going out into the public, when you have the courage to do this, instead of just staying with your own head. You see, this is where on the real side, many times the individual is just sitting in their house because you're already self-decided. It's like, well, I don't need that. I don't need that. I already know this or that. See, you're just staying inside your head. You're not seeing the whole of life and breaking through that conformity. But it's a choice. And so, again, most people like their routines. They want to chase their la-la land, etc. And yeah, in that experience, Marjorie, Joanee's trying to get you to do things that, that she's doing and that she's into, so she has the control. She wants to decide for you. And you're basically saying, no, I don't want to agree to what you're doing. So, see, they're going to bug a lot of you people, and they bother me too, just like Sandy's dream of a few weeks ago or something, her real side experience. There's the dream, and then there's real side experiences, and there is a difference there. But where Harry was under the influence of Joanee and trying to tapline her, and so going through the experience is fine. She was taplined, and then she did the new you and got rid of it. And so again, that becomes self-evident. So by the very fact that she allowed herself to be taplined and then using the new you showed that it worked. You see, so it's kind of like Howard Hughes. He had to fly the planes. They didn't just start producing them and saying, oh yeah, these things fly. No, he had to go risk his life and take the risk. And, there were times when it didn't work out. It's like, okay, back to the drawing board, if anybody saw the movie Aviator, so that gives a little hint. So, yeah, we got to take the risk. And, yeah, it's very, very important. Otherwise, no, things just stay the same. You'll be inside your own head. You'll be self-convinced, and life is bigger until you get outside of that. So I like taking the risk. I like seeing what else there is. And so this is the whole idea, you people stepping up, and this is where I ask people right away before things become kind of commonplace. You see, just like when in the corporation, they bring people in, they kind of schmooze them. It's like, hi, how are you? Come and sit down, and they schmooze them a certain way. And then later on, you'll notice, whether it's in religion or whatever, or a corporation, or just like what Bob went through, same thing. It's all the same thing. They schmoozed him to a point to where, okay, it seems like everything's okay, but you set yourself up to be passive now instead of active. So you just kind of go along with that because this is what you think it is. Everybody goes to the seminar. They all hug each other. So every seminar, 20, 30 years later, that's what they do. Everybody really wants to go and hug each other because they want this personal sensation, because they've been set up to be passive. Here, it's not like that. And just like Val, at some point, it's like, oh, I have to do something. It's like, yeah, it's not waiting for me to do something. It's everybody does something. We're all equal here. And so again, the old slave and master idea, In other words, the master is really the slave to his so-called students if he doesn't get them up to par. So it just goes back and forth, and so they'll go on for lifetimes. Here, the idea is that we're all free beings of real light. You step up, you wake up to that, but you have to earn your way. The isness that life is can only provide that awareness for you when you learn to earn your way and take the risk. But if you stay with your old routines and inside your head, you can't do it. It can't. You're not allowing it because you've decided that, oh, I just want to be me. Okay, and that's fine. You have the right to do that. Everybody has the right, but you got to deal with whatever. Well, here now you have the awareness. You're gaining the awareness to deal with the situations that you've agreed to, which is fine because it's part of your wake up, and it's that shock at times, many times, to shock yourself to wake up to where eventually you surpass it all. But if you don't, you stay stuck. So yes, thank you for sharing. It's very, very important. That's why I always step up and create all these things, because there's so many ways to see it, and you people become the objective view, just like what Claudia and I are doing with the galaxy stuff and the Orions and whatever. Claudia's become, I see that she, the boys asked her to step up and be with me simply because she's become the great witness also, plus our adventures and what we're doing surpasses everything, because again, this world's in trouble. And I'm glad you brought up the inky thing. That's very important too. So all we can do is share the idea that, the inky idea is not what people think it is. And just like when, as the politicians are being caught for something like Obama and whatever, all of a sudden you'll see them on Facebook. It's like, oh, gee, wouldn't it be nice to have a president again that was so wonderful and elegant and, just so polite and whatever. So they get people to put the attention there, not on the 7 wars or whatever that he created that destroyed women and children. Oh, no, we don't want to go there. He was just a nice guy, you see. So again, they plan these things to keep people there. And it shows you how desperate they are to get agreement. And so you don't have to agree, but you got to be a little tricky at the same time. Sometimes you got to make it look like you agree, but at the same time you're doing something else. That's what the boys do on the real side. So yes, have fun. Thank you for stepping up. It's for you and everyone. Yes, I'm grateful to be a part of this. Thank you. So again, it's very appreciated. Sandy and Bob, you're wonderful. All your experience, etc. So I'm going to kind of blast the corporation a little bit for the fun of it. Let people know and the world know what we're doing in every which way. So going to intermingle with everything here. You guys have a lot of qualifications, and Mike and everybody else. It's wonderful what you've brought. Yes, it really, really helps, and it will enhance everything. So you guys are the new spices to everything here.
Well, thank you, Duane. We need to finalize that handout too. So sometime this week, maybe.
And all the images that you sent were absolutely wonderful. So
I was just, when I just wanted to send that. You don't have to print that out. That's too much. But just the words itself. But I thought, okay, well, we'll just make an image, and I made Rebazar and Rebazar Tars because they relate to that, and so. Yeah, it's just something fun. You guys are going to plan and decide your adventure. But yes, call me anytime. It's fine. I'm here.
okay,
All right. Thank you so much.
thank you again.
Yeah, always here. So again, please don't be reluctant. Whatever you need, we'll go over it. It's a lot, and you're going to be stepping up there. It's going to be very, very interesting. So we'll see what happens from then to now. Yeah.
Yeah, I can't wait.
Yeah, it's fun. It's fun to
Yeah.
plan.
It is.
See how they come out. Val and Kelsey have done so many far out things, and they've just gone through it. So now we're into a bigger picture here with the college, and it's not that we have to do it, but I like the challenge to see how I can bring things around to where it makes sense, and at the same time deal with the system, confront them in a particular way, and bring something along the lines of what they're used to, but bring it in a new way to where they basically say, oh, you can't do that. That's never been done before. Just like the movie Fountainhead, it's a very good example with Gary Cooper. I suggest everybody see that. And it's just a very good example of, yes, you can do whatever you decide to do. And so this is us. We are exceptional. We are very exceptional. And as we more so stand real with each other, that even becomes more exceptional. This is what I'm trying to get across to people. It's not that, oh, we just come on the Skypes or whatever. And it's not that we think all the same, whatever. It's just that, okay, let's see how this adventure is being put together. The boys have the objective view, but it's for us to decide. You know, we can ask them questions, but they don't decide our life. They show you possibilities and what's taking place now, etc. And so by paying attention to that and sharing this information and really seeing it, not just scoffing it off, it's like, oh, I had this dream, whatever. You know, more than just sharing it, but really seeing what's behind it and taking part in it, just like a job that you'd have where you take it serious. If you're the DA and you have to try cases, you're going to take this stuff serious. You're not going to just be giggling about it all the time. You're going to take it very realistically, I'll say, to where, yes, these things are important because people's lives depend upon it. And this is what we're here for. We're like lifeguards. We're like the fire department and 911. We're here to show people how they can be rescued from all this nonsense, you see. So this is why we're here. We're part of life because as we stand real with the is, we are proving that we support the is with what it has already, you might say, decided, and that is survival, a real survival for everybody, surpassing all these restrictions. We had to go through the restrictions because this is what has woken us up, and will continue to do so until we're at that point where we're just complete awareness without the five bodies. We don't need these five bodies. But in the meantime, yes, we do until we don't. And then at that point, wow, that's just really cool. We're complete awareness. But you have to learn to recognize and see what else there is. So, you know, just like your experience with the two motorcycle riders on the real side, see, they couldn't see what else there is. So what they did is they agreed to what someone else decided, which was Joanee and Harold, which is really nothing at all. So again, you're going to end up with nothing if you just agree to everything out there. But the idea is that learn to see past all of this, and then you will be in that position that you want to be in. Yeah, but it's a biggie, and it doesn't always conform to the world. It's not going to conform. But again, this is where I'm deciding this real universal position. I want to see how this comes out. It's already been decided, so little by little, things are being moved towards there. But people have to pay attention also, because this entails the isness itself completely here, not just in words and phrases and maybe some projects, but it's really the more so position. And so I have to align myself too. I have to deal with myself here. That's a toughie for me. But anyhow, so again, as we share, we get these objective viewpoints, and the decisions have to be made. You have to decide that this is what you want to do. But the all is, then it just automatically starts to show up because you've already decided, you've already agreed. So yes, it's all for you. We'll see you next time. Thank you so much.